Hi friends, welcome to the Plain Fun RC channel. I'm your host Saul, and we are continuing our update on the Velocity XL build. Right now our focus is on getting the top of the canopy painted. You can see we've got the canopy trimmed, and we've got the inside sanded because we're going to be painting the inside. Whenever you're doing a clear canopy, you want to paint the inside because it protects the paint and it provides a better finish overall. The kit does include these masking pieces as mentioned in the previous video, which is great. Makes life a lot easier. They're already in the shape of the window, so we just need to go ahead and apply them. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to take the pieces, as you can see here, we're going to apply them on the inside of the actual canopy itself, and then we're going to go ahead and mask the outside entirely in blue masking painting tape. More to come. All right, friends, as we continue our update, we have masked off our top of the hatch. We're looking at the inside right now. You can see the vinyl that they provide there on the different parts. And then when we go through, if we take a moment and flip this over, you can see we've got the top completely masked off. So pretty straightforward, nothing fancy. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead, we're going to take some, I've used the Rust-Oleum all-in-one, which works really quite well, believe it or not. We're going to use that on the inside here. We'll hit it with about 2 coats. 2 coats is usually what it takes to do a canopy, and then after that, we'll get the canopy attached directly to its base, which you can see right there. All right, friends, more to come. All right, friends, as we continue our update, you can see the canopy has been painted, and she just looks fantastic. We went with a gray because the decals that I'm going to be putting on have some gray in them, so it'll match up nicely. But I couldn't ask for a better finish. We sprayed the inside of the canopy, and you can see that it gives it that nice gloss finish. So we have a gloss paint along with the natural glossiness of the canopy, and it just came out really, really well. Very happy with it. Now, let me show you the paint that we wound up using, and it was Krylon, as you can see here. Color Max Paint and Primer. It was a gloss pewter gray. If you're using this particular Krylon, you do have to sand whatever surface you're painting. So I used it's probably about a 400 grit, sanded the inside of the canopy, just the areas that were going to be painted. I stayed away from the windows. And you can see you can't even, that there's no indication of any sanding at all because the paint did such a beautiful job. Now, the other Krylon brand that'll work very nicely is the Fusion all-in-one, and with this one you don't need to sand. The reason why I didn't go with Fusion because this gray is too dark, and I liked the lighter gray in the other can, as you can see there. So the lighter gray looked a little bit better. Anyway, we're going to go ahead, we're going to get the canopy attached to the hatch. Then we're going to go ahead and shift our focus to getting our speed control on the aircraft, and that has arrived. Talon HV120 is what we're going to use since we're running an 8S. And then after that, we'll do some final radio installation, balance the plane, and then that'll be it. So more to come. All right, friends. As we continue our update, you can see we're in the process of mounting the hatch. Let's talk about what we did here. We went ahead, we're using 6/32 blind nuts, as you can see right there, and we are using 6/32 nylon screws to help hold the hatch in place. I'm a fan of using nylon screws when it comes to holding hatches in place because nylon screws don't vibrate like metal screws do, and I have seen some planes that have used metal screws to hold hatches down and just vibrate out just through repeated flights of the aircraft. So nylon screws work a little bit better. So very straightforward. We're just going ahead, putting our blind nut in place, using some Gorilla Glue to hold it. We'll let that dry for a few hours, and we'll go ahead and we'll put our hatch in place, then get our canopy attached to the hatch. More to come. All right, friends, as we continue our update, you can see we're about ready to attach the canopy. Pretty straightforward. Went ahead, got it lined up, getting it taped in place. Now, the canopy is held in place with very small screws. You can see them here, very small, and these will be fine. I am going to go ahead, once I have all the holes drilled and the screws in place, I'm going to remove the screws, do a little bit of the silicone glue, and then go ahead and screw the canopy back in place. Let me show you why I'm a fan of the silicone glue. So if you saw the video that I had posted on the channel of the crash of the Mystery 3000, you'll see it went inverted, completely inverted when it crashed. But notice how the canopy here is still fully attached to its base, as you can see. And And that's because I used a good old silicone glue, which you can see right in there. So it's extremely strong. So I want to make sure that with the velocity, we've got the same level of strength. We don't have to worry about the canopy popping off in flight, because that would just be a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. All right, friends, let's get started and put this in place. More to come. All right, friends, as we continue our update, you can see our canopy is in place. I wound up not using the silicone glue to hold the canopy in place because I felt there were more than enough screws to hold this in place. But what I did do is in the screw holes themselves, I did use a little Zap canopy glue. Now, of course, you can use the canopy glue to hold canopies in place. But I decided just to go ahead to reinforce the screw holes with this. I didn't want to use CA because CA has a chemical that if you try to use it around clear plastic, it leaves a white film, and I did not want to do that. I wanted to make sure we had a real nice finish. It looks great, really does. The screws that were used were, looks like number 1. They came with the kit, but they were number 1 1/4-inch wood screws, and you can see they just look great. Let me give you a quick walk around. And there you go. All right, our focus shifts to the ESC. We're going to get that mounted, get that in place. Then we're going to get our decals on, and more to come. All right, friends, just a quick mention. In the video, I mentioned to go ahead and attach the canopy with screws. But then I realized the front section under here on the hatch, this curved section, that's all foam. So basically the screws up front were going into nothing. So I had to remove the screws and then go ahead, and I wound up using canopy glue because it's all I could get in the tight space between the actual canopy and the hatch itself. The only screws I left in were the ones that actually went into wood, and those are the remaining screws that you see there. So just a friendly tip, if you find this kit and you're getting ready to mount the canopy, remember anything that's going to be attaching to this front section here, you need to use some type of canopy glue or silicone glue. More to come. All right, friends, as we continue our update, you can see our ESC is attached. A couple of things that we had to do. First and foremost, we had to add some extensions here for the wires that were coming off the motor, so that way it would reach the plugs in the ESC. What we also did is the wires coming off of the ESC that are used to attach the battery, they also required an extension, and you can see it here. And then we also went ahead and added a series connector on the ends because we're going to be running 2 4S batteries for a total of 8S. Now, to attach the ESC, what we did is we went ahead, we used white pull ties, you can see them there, and then we went ahead and also then attached black pull ties to the ESC, and I'll come down a little bit so you can see that, and you can see the black pull tie right here where my finger's pointing. Now, the reason why we did that is because that's the easiest way to attach the ESC to the motor standoffs, as you can see. One of the great things about this particular ESC is that Castle Creations always adds these really nice slots, and you can see them there. And it's perfect because you can use those slots to, you can use Velcro straps, pass them through the slots to help hold the ESC in place, or you can even use small wood screws as well. All right, the ESC is in place, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to pass the wires to the back hole, the hole of the firewall here, get everything set up inside the fuselage, and more to come. All right, friends, as we continue with our update, the Velocity is done, and she looks fantastic. We got our decals on. We've gone ahead, we've sealed our hinge gaps with Ultra Coat, white Ultra Coat, and she is just looking absolutely fantastic. So that's going to be it for the build. Hopefully we're looking to get a flight in sometime soon. We'll make sure we have some video of that, but you can see she just looks fantastic. The decals they provide really add a nice touch to the plane. So I'm going to do a quick, quiet walk around for you. Folks, thanks for watching. We've got a great video coming up next of a brand new build. So stay tuned. Please like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching.